Football's funniest chants ranked as Rangers' bellow Lundstram Classic in Seville. Rangers will be in a partying mood on Thursday as they arrive in Seville for the Europa League final and, with thousands of Gers fans traveling for the showpiece event, their famous chant about John Lundstram has already made an appearance. Giovanni van Bronckhorst's side have battled their way to a first European final in over 50 years after brushing aside RB Leipzig in the semi-finals. They now face another Bundesliga outfit in the final in Eintracht Frankfurt, who broke West Ham's hearts with a 3-1 aggregate win. The Scottish outfit will be looking to gain any potential advantage they can, and creating an electric atmosphere will be one way they can make their contribution, especially if they belt out their Lundstram anthem inside the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. But here at Daily Star Sport, we have gone to lengths of measuring where the chant stands against some of its football rivals, ranking the top 9. Footballers are human, just like the rest of us. But when Jason Puncheon needed to relieve himself during a match against Everton at St Mary's back in 2013, the Toffees fans were sure to rib the midfielder about his brief trip to the loo. Puncheon quickly disappeared off the pitch and went straight down the tunnel during the game, drawing confusion from the commentators. But when he emerged from the tunnel with no sign of an injury, it soon became clear what had happened, and the eagle-eyed Everton fans weren't about to let that slide as they launched into a chorus of classic chant. He went for a S, he went for a S, Jason Puncheon, he went for a S. Have your say. Did we miss one of your favorite funny football chants? Let us know in the comments. Nothing quite compares to a bit of holiday spirit, so when the Bristol Rovers fans saw Jermaine Easter turning out against them, they couldn't resist a cheap shot at the Wycombe striker. With obvious links to the Christian holiday, Easter may have become tired by banter thrown his way, but this effort is decent at least. All it needs is for a player on the Rovers team to be called Christmas, and it is perfect. Of course, the danger with mocking certain players is that there is always a risk they could play for your club one day, and that's exactly what happened when Easter joined the Pirates 8 years later in 2015. You're not as good as Christmas. Make no mistake, if there is an edible object that can be deep fried, the people of Scotland have already found it. Whether it's a Mars bar or Oreo biscuit, turning a piece of confectionery into a local delicacy is something they are not afraid to do, as Italy fans discovered back in a World Cup qualifier back in 2007. Their opponents are known for their adoration of their admittedly phenomenal pizza pies, and while the Scots struggled to make much of an impression on the pitch, their fans turned to intimidation tactics to try and get the upper hand in international banter. Deep fry your pizzas, we're gonna deep fry your pizzas. Liverpool fans were obviously delighted when the club spent £20 million to acquire Keane from Tottenham back in 2008 after the striker's goal-scoring exploits with Tottenham. And even more so, when they had the opportunity to create a catchy anthem for the Irishman. Referring to the TV show Father Ted, which ran from 1995 to 1998, Keane's accent and speedy manner of speech showed an uncanny resemblance to the program's protagonist. Sadly, the excellent chant was only belted out for a season as Keane swiftly secured a return to Spurs. He's fast, he's ready, talks like Father Ted. Robbie Keane sometimes. The football and music spheres overlap to create a blissful Venn diagram. And in these particular circles are Manchester United, Rio Ferdinand and the popular 80s pop group Duran Duran. Back in his days as a bruising centre-back, Ferdinand was not one to be messed with. And the United fans knew it too, creating a song to honor their towering defender's ability to kick lumps out of his opponents, which is, oddly enough, already called Rio. To the tune of Rio by Duran Duran, his name is Rio, and he dances on the grass, don't take the ball from him, he'll kick your F-ass. West Ham fans are certainly not shy, particularly when it comes to discussing the details of their players' love lives. The Hammers have been singing the praises of their 12-goal star Bowen after an excellent season in the Premier League. But it is the winger's relationship with the daughter of die-hard Irons fan Danny Dyer, Donny, that inspired their song about the 25-year-old. The only thing the lyrics lack is subtlety, as it makes reference to his activities in the bedroom with Love Island star. Bowen's on fire and he's s-ging Donny Dyer, repeat X2, oof, la 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 la. As Everton manager fighting off the threat of relegation, Lampard has more important things to think about than a silly combination of words from Leeds fans. But you get the feeling the Toffees boss would love to see them relegated after engaging in a bitter row with the club 3 years ago. Lampard was Derby boss when he faced Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds in the playoffs, with Spygate dominating the pre-match build-up after Bielsa was found to have sent a member of staff to spy on their training before their meeting earlier in the season. Leeds would go on to win the playoff semi-final first leg, before Derby produced a 4-2 win to progress to the final, and even the Chelsea legend had to admit it was a good song. To the tune of Stop Crying Your Heart Out by Oasis, All of the Spies are hidden away, just try not to worry, you'll beat us someday, we beat you at home, we beat you away, so stop crying. Frank Lampard. Quite simply, this anthem could and does fit a lot of footballers' names. But somehow, it just works because of the effort the Scots put into their brilliant songs. When Steven Gerrard signed Lundstram from Sheffield United on a free transfer in 2020, few could have predicted that the Liverpudlian midfielder would become a cult hero at Ibrox. He wrote his name in Gers folklore when he scored the decisive goal that sent the Scottish Giants through to the Europa League with an impressive 3-1 triumph over RB Leipzig. And the fans serenaded him long after the final whistle went, with the 28-year-old loving every single moment as he danced to their deafening rendition of the 1980s classic. To the tune of Heaven is a Place on Earth by Belinda Castle, ooh baby, do you know what he's worth? John Lundstram is the best on earth, the silky Scouser is just what we need, he'll win Rangers the Europa League.